So security doesn't always have to be something super sophisticated. It can be something as simple as locking the damn door to keep the entire network safe. So in this lecture, we're going to go through a couple of things that can physically secure your network. So the first thing we'll talk about is a man trap, and it simply traps people. So with a man trap, only one person can go through a hallway or in an organization at a time. So there won't be any piggybacking. And piggybacking just means that pretty much somebody follows behind you and tries to use your credentials, your authentication as their own. So pretty much with a man trap, I would go through first, I would authenticate, and then I would be granted access to the building, the organization, or the device. So in a man trap, I would walk into the organization, the door would lock behind me, I would authenticate, whether that's giving somebody a high five or putting in a password or a PIN. Then I would go inside of the actual organization or use the device or whatever I'm actually trying to accomplish. So one of the oldest forms of physical security is going to be a security guard. And what does this person do? They guard the organization, device, whatever it is. So the main purpose of security guard is to make sure that the people who work at that organization or who have access to that organization are safe, while people that are not allowed at the organization don't gain access, don't gain entry to the people, building, or data or devices that's stored at that organization. Now, Security Plus, we dive into this a lot deeper. Now, but just for right now, we're going to talk about security guards. The only fail-safe with that, or only failure with security guards, is that they're human, which means that they can fall asleep, they can be underpaid, they can be pissed off, they can not care, so on and so forth. They can go on a lunch break, they can go use the bathroom, and things can happen in between that time. So all these have their flaws, but that's one big flaw with a security guard is the motivation. They may not give a damn about, oh, somebody come here, they coming here, right? So next up is biometric locks, a little bit more sophisticated than a security guard may be. With biometric locks, to lock and unlock a system, a device, a door, anything like that, you'll have to use something that's biologically a part of you, biometrics. So that may be fingerprint, that may be iris, that may be voice recognition, but you have to use something that's biologically a part of you to authenticate, to gain access to software, devices, or an organization. Next up is a badge reader. That's pretty simple. So you would have a physical badge and you would either present that to an individual, whether it's a security guard or camera or device. So it's just a physical badge that you would have, and then you would present that to gain access to the organization. Earlier we talked about smart cards, and we know just like a badge, it's a physical item that you have. And on this actual item is going to be credentials that either allow or deny you access to certain buildings, certain devices, so on and so forth. So next up is a hardware token. This is usually given through a USB dongle. So a small little USB stick has an encrypted key on it. And you use that encrypted key, the USB dongle, is usually for a certain amount of time, whether it's 60 seconds, whether it's an hour, but that pre-generated key on that USB dongle is only good for a certain amount of time. So we use that USB dongle to authenticate and gain authorization to, just like everything else, a device or an organization. Next thing is just simple cable locks. Let's say if it's an internet cafe or a library, if they have a lot of laptops inside of an organization, they may want to physically secure those laptops. And a lot of times they'll take a cable lock and actually secure the laptops, the PCs, the servers, whatever they actually want to secure. They're actually secured physically to a desk, to the wall, to a pole, just something that's going to make it a little bit more difficult to actually steal that piece of equipment. Last but not least is a privacy screen. So at a lot of hospitals, the doctor has a privacy screen, and the only way you can actually see what's on the monitor is if you look directly at the screen. So pretty much only the people that should know about your information will know about your information. If somebody's off to the side or if somebody's on this side, they won't actually be able to see what's on the actual screen unless they're directly in front of it, looking directly at it. There's actually privacy screens for PCs, laptops, and cell phones as well. Because as big as cell phones are now, you can kind of see what somebody's doing from, say you're on the subway, say you're on the bus, or say you're just in a restaurant. You can see, or in a damn movie theater, you can see what somebody's doing because the phone is damn big as the TV, right? So a privacy screen gives you a little bit more privacy, an added layer of privacy.